Daniel Carter lost the job before he ever walked through the door. Not because he lacked experience. Not because he failed the interview. He lost it because, 10 minutes earlier, he chose to be human. He stood on the sidewalk, staring at the glass tower of Brooks and Hale Consulting, the place he had spent 6 months preparing for. Then he looked at the woman standing barefoot on the cold pavement. She held a broken designer heel like evidence. "Please," she said, her voice controlled but urgent. "My office locked behind me. I have a meeting that decides my career in 5 minutes." Daniel checked his watch. 7 minutes. "I'm late for an interview," he said. "I know," she replied. "So am I." He looked at the tower again. Then at the shoe store across the street. Daniel turned away from the future he had planned and walked toward the store. Daniel reached the reception desk breathless and 3 minutes late. The woman behind the counter didn't look up. "You missed it," she said. "My name is Daniel Carter." "Strategic projects," he said. "I had a delay." She shook her head. "The position's been filled." Behind her, a man leaned against the wall, smoothing the sleeves of a tailored suit. "Timing matters," the man said lightly. "Paul Reynolds." Daniel didn't respond. Linda slid a second form across the counter. "We do have another opening," she said. "Evenings. Maintenance." Daniel looked at the glass doors leading deeper into the building. By sunset, he was wearing a gray uniform, holding a mop, staring at the same doors he had hoped to walk through as an executive. The building emptied quickly that night. Daniel pushed his cart past the main conference room and stopped. Inside, Paul Reynolds stood alone at a whiteboard. The confident man from the lobby was gone. The board was a mess, arrows doubling back, figures crossed out, logic collapsing under its own weight. Daniel stepped closer. "I think that growth rate is built on the wrong baseline," he said quietly. Paul didn't turn. "Your job is to clean," Paul replied. "Not think." Daniel hesitated. "If you present this, it won't hold." Paul finally faced him. "Speak to me again," he said, "and you're done here." Daniel nodded and walked away. The partner meeting began with tension thick enough to feel. Paul spoke quickly. Too quickly. Slides flickered. Numbers shifted. The lead partner leaned forward. "Your projections don't account for downside risk," he said calmly. "And yet you're asking us to commit." Paul swallowed. "The assumptions. They're collapsing," the partner said, tapping the screen. "Explain why." Paul opened his mouth. Closed it. Silence stretched. "We won't be moving forward with this deal," the partner said. From the back of the room, a voice spoke, steady, uninvited. "The baseline is wrong. No one turned at first. The growth rate is built on last year's peak," the voice continued. "That inflates returns by nearly 30%. Margaret Hale turned sharply. "Who said that?" Daniel stood beside a trash bin, one hand resting on its rim. "Maintenance," he said. Paul laughed, sharp and nervous. "This is inappropriate." Margaret raised a hand. "Let him finish." "At a 10% discount rate," he said, "the net present value is $28,450. Not the figure on the screen." The partner's pen stopped moving. "And the internal rate of return?" he asked. 23.4, Daniel replied. "It holds until 12%. After that, logistics risk collapses it." Paul shook his head. "That's not." "Is it?" the partner interrupted, eyes still on Daniel. Daniel nodded once. "I ran the sensitivity across 3 scenarios. The numbers don't lie." Margaret stood slowly. "Did you prepare this model?" she asked. Daniel hesitated. "I looked at it 2 nights ago during my shift," he said. The room went quiet. The partner closed his folder. If that's true, he said, then this presentation is invalid. Paul stepped forward. I was still refining. You were finished, Margaret said flatly. You told me that. She turned back to Daniel. How long would it take to rebuild this properly? Daniel answered without hesitation. 2 days. The partner nodded once. Then negotiations continue, he said, only if he leads. Paul's face drained of color. When the partner left, Margaret remained behind. She looked at Daniel. Why didn't you say something sooner? Someone said my job was to clean, not think, Daniel replied. She studied him for a moment, then nodded. Go home, she said. Tomorrow will be different. By morning, the gray uniform was folded in a locker. Paul Reynolds was leaving with a box. Daniel sat across from Margaret Hale. She slid a folder across the desk. Project Director, she said. Effective immediately. Daniel opened it. Read once. Then again. This isn't charity, she said. You saved a $40 million deal. Daniel signed. As Daniel stood to leave, she paused. The woman you helped yesterday, she said. She's the client. She met his eyes. Evelyn Brooks, she added. You'll be working directly with her. If this story stayed with you, take a moment to support the channel.